Today we're gonna do some bread. Bread is vital to French cuisine. So making bread is very simple. It's 1 kg of bread flour, 3% of fresh yeast. If you're not using fresh yeast, you can use a third of that same amount, instant yeast. So salt is 1.8%, malt is 0.5%. If you don't have malt at home, you can use honey, and of course water. Water is 63%. So mix all the dry ingredients together in the mixer and start the mixer on low, and all at once you can add in your water. This is a French loaf recipe, and how you can tell whether the dough is done or not is it comes together and it doesn't stick to the side. So in this recipe, we're going to put some raisins in the bread. You knead it for another 2 to 3 minutes on a slightly higher speed. How do you tell if the dough is done? It's when you press the dough and it bounces back up. And then we're going to cover it up with a cloth and leave it to the side and let it proof. Now, making bread, patience is key. Do not rush. If you look at your dough and you put your finger through the dough does not bounce back up. That's when you know it's done. So lightly dust the counter with some flour. Don't put too much in because you're going to make your bread dough very dry. Roll it out nicely. Today we are using 1 kg of flour, so if we add everything together, it's a little more than 1.6 kilograms. Okay, so once it's cut, form it up nicely into a rough shape. No need to be a nice bread shape first, and put it on the side to let it proof again for the second time. How do you tell when the second proofing is done? Once you see that the dough is kind of risen a little bit, and then when you shake it, it's a little bit jiggly. I think after a while, when you try more and more times making bread, you'll get it. But you know, the most important thing is that you try. Once the second proofing is done, we need to roll in the dough in itself to make that structure, so that when we bake the bread actually goes up this way. Press in the seams, make sure the seams are nice and closed. Now make it into the actual bread loaf shape. You can use a very sharp knife to cut across right in the middle of the loaf. Keep it fast, keep it simple, keep it in one stroke. That's to make sure that you have a very nice seam and you will get that very nice crack in the middle. So baking time is at 200 degrees for 40 minutes. 20 minutes on each side, so that means after 20 minutes you rotate it. If you have 2 layers, you make sure that bread below goes on top. So when it's done, you will know 40 minutes is just about right. You can go a bit more than that, but usually, rule of thumb, 40 minutes, the dough is fully cooked, it's nicely expanded, and you've got a really nice crust on your bread. So that's it. It's very simple. I think everybody should try this at home at least once. Don't be afraid to mess it up. Flour is not very expensive, yeast is not very expensive. It just takes time, and you're gonna enjoy playing with the dough and just have patience.